Now, Harry Broadman is a former Chief of Staff on the President's Council of Economic Advisers. He joins us from Washington, D.C. Just put this into perspective for ordinary Americans. What does this actually mean for them? Is it significant?
It's significant, I think, because in my view, it shows that the Federal Open Market Committee has made actually a pretty reasoned judgment. And if you listen to Chairman Powell's news conference after the decision, I think he articulated quite well that we're on a tightrope between higher inflation and higher unemployment. And so I think, this was sort of frankly, when I was looking at the numbers last night and this morning, this is sort of where I thought they would end up.
Now, President Donald Trump says that this is not good enough. He wants a bigger cut. He's also thinking politics here about getting somebody who's a bit more of a loyalist when Jerome Powell steps down in May. Is that alarming to you?
Well, first of all, it's not surprising that that's what he thinks, as he's always thought that. He's been a hawk in terms of as low as you can get the interest rates, the better the world is for him and for the rest of us. I do think that's a really poor diagnosis of what's going on in the economy. As I say, there's weakness in the job market. I think inflation is rearing its head. It may not be here yet, but the tariffs, pack a wallop on that, and we're going to see that, coming forward, within weeks. So I don't think that would have been a wise course of action. And when you look at the votes of the 12 members of the FOMC, only one, who was Mr. Trump's sort of right-hand guy on the Fed on leave from the Council of Economic Advisers, he was the only one who wanted the deeper cut. So I listened to my compatriots who have made reasoned judgments on the FOMC, and I think they came out exactly where I thought they should come out, frankly.
But why is the president pushing then for these, deeper cuts? He's got these tariffs. What is the overarching economic policy here, do you think?
Well, I'm not sure what Donald Trump articulates as a policy, but I think what he's driven by is he doesn't want, unemployment, which would really torpedo his economic legacy. And so he wants deeper and deeper cuts. And frankly, that means he doesn't care as much about inflation, which I think is a very poor public policy choice on his part. But he's always been a hawk of lower interest rates, going back to his first term, and frankly, even when he was, in the private sector. And that may sound good, but lower interest rates really can create problems that can become intractable. And I think walking on a knife edge where we are now, I think the FOMC made exactly, the right balanced decision.
Now, Harry, you were the former Chief of Staff of the President's Council of Economic Advisers. That's a crucial advisory board to the president. But do you think this particular president is actually listening to those economic advisers?
Well, I think he is from the current members of the Council of Economic Advisers. But I don't think, he believes he can run the economy himself. Frankly, I know that sounds off-putting, but I think that's the way he thinks. He's smarter than virtually anybody else on the economy. But the CEA, the Council of Economic Advisers, is really staffed with a bunch of professional economists at the staff level. The three members are political appointees. When I was there as the Chief of Staff, we had, the members of the council were extraordinarily respected economists in the profession. You couldn't have found sort of a smarter crew there. I don't think, to be honest, that's the case now with the current members of the Council of Economic Advisers. But the staff, I think, generally is professional. But it's in the executive office of the president, and they work for the president. So it's not part of, obviously, the Federal Reserve Board, which is outside the executive branch, and that checks and balances between the executive branch and the Fed is very important because we want to have checks and balances on how our economic policy is made, rather than just having one side run ahead without the other being able to put a check when there needs to be a check put on.
Harry Broadman, thank you so much. Really interesting talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.